I'm Alexander Rossi, and you're watching SAFEisFAST.
One of the best things I've ever heard and experienced from some of the all-time great drivers who are also great in interviews is there's one common thread. They made you feel like you were the only person in their world. Keep your phone in your damn pocket. Don't stare at your shoes. Don't be distracted by the thing. If you want to have someone truly appreciate you and make lasting impressions, that will help. And make an effort to make that person you're standing there talking to feel like they're the only thing that matters in your world.
You know, your PR and comms team is, you need to have as good of a relationship with them as you do your race engineer. Marketing and media and sponsor requirements are just as important as being able to drive fast on the racetrack.
We've got more media than actually time in the engineering talking about the car.
It's just how the sport has evolved. I understand, especially with partners and partnerships, it's what enables us to do what we do and enables me to do what I love. Without the media, without the sponsors, without the fans and your partners, you won't be able to do what you do and what you love. So sometimes it can be tough, but it is a huge part of our sport.
The worst piece of advice a team owner or PR rep can give their driver is to go into an interview and rattle off the name of all the sponsors, and I want to thank A, B, C, and D, and X, and wonderful, and they're great. And have you ever used their product before? No one's here to listen to you become the world's worst salesperson.
To be honest, I don't really read all the this is what you have to say, because then you sound like a robot. I'm well aware of what's good to say and what's not good to say, and sometimes a little bit of honesty doesn't hurt anybody. It's sometimes much needed, and I think I can speak on behalf of the ones that are honest. Usually, people appreciate that.
I think there's a good balance you can have between showing your personality and being serious at the same time. I feel like I've always had a pretty good balance because I'm just who I am. I don't try and be someone I'm not.
You don't have to make an ass out of yourself, but at least give folks a reason to want to listen to everything you say. That doesn't happen when it's scripted and you're worried about, don't want to say the wrong thing. You're going to say the wrong thing. Unless it's live on air, it can all be edited. That's why it's good to have friends in the media. Say, hey, I totally screwed that up. Could we either redo it or could you cut it? What do I always say? Yeah, of course. Take care of you. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to put you in a bad light. Trust. That's where building these relationships come from and end up helping you in the long term.
I think you've also got to make sure that you're covered, that you've seen all the details before you start opening your mouth. And if you haven't, then you kind of just defer to, like, I haven't seen that right now, that incident. Once I look at it, then I'm happy to talk about it.
Try and save yourself an explanation rather than saying something stupid and then just adding on to the stress that you already have. Because ultimately, it doesn't matter how much you say, people will always have their opinion. And it might be a positive opinion, it might be a negative opinion, but what does it do for you? Nothing. Well, the best thing for you is to save your energy for what matters.
You sometimes have to bite your tongue, but again, you need to be professional. You need to remember that you're representing more people than yourself. So that's why I think it's important to always take a deep breath before you go and face the media.
These teams, manufacturers, sponsors are putting a lot of time, money, and effort into giving you the opportunity to drive the car, and it's up to you to make sure that you, as the face of their brand, are representing them well, representing their ethos and what they stand for.
It's part of the motorsport game, and in the end, it comes down to little details to be good in all aspects, not just driving. Driving is maybe 80%, and the other 20% is one of that is media, and brands like Porsche, they definitely look at those things.
I think it's important to have good relationships with journalists. There might be people that you don't necessarily see eye to eye with, but I think that can always be fun too. You got to turn it into a positive. Banter's always good, as long as, again, you keep everything, the big picture in mind of making sure that you're getting your point across.
Certain media outlets will always look for a story, especially in a difficult time. They'll try to get difficult quotes from you, but it's always important to kind of redirect the question in your direction that's going to make you look positive. And every word you say and every answer you have, it's important to have the right structure and make sure you're saying what you mean.
but ultimately everything is about respect, giving people the time that they need. They're there to do a job just as much as you are, and if you're nice to people, it goes a long way.
Need to think of yourself like a musician, like a singer. How many times are musicians, singers, bands early in their careers able to go on stage? Not that often. But what do they do between? They're in the garage practicing. They're in their room. They're singing in front of a mirror. You have all the time in the world away from here to say, I'm going to do some mock interviews with myself. You can put in all the reps all day long that you want to.
Always making sure you know when the recorder's on too. That's a big help.
Don't forget to like and subscribe in the button below for more driver tutorials.
And let us know in the comments what you'd like to see next.